been 2 weeks since Avengers Infinity War came out, and it's been interesting.
It's been interesting. I've loved the memes that have come out afterwards.
Yeah, the best one for me is it's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and it's like, Zoink, Scoops, I all feel so good.
Yeah.
As he's disappearing.
Yeah, that one. And pretty much every other meme like that has come out.
Yeah.
Like, there have been some vaguely inappropriate ones that I can't put up on the Facebook page, but I really, really want to.
Yeah.
But I can't.
That sucks.
Because we have a PG audience.
Yeah.
But they're fantastic. They're fantastic to see, and they're kind of strange because it's such a touching moment in the movie. And
Yeah. It's a great way to deal with grief.
It is.
For me, because Spider-Man is my favourite fictional character. Like, that moment got me, but then seeing online people just riffing on that, I thought, this is very funny.
Me personally, I was more shattered when Tony Stark got stabbed and I thought he was going to die. And then he didn't do that.
Yeah.
And for me, it was more of a relief. Like, I feel better now. And then after that, all the other characters died, but there was still that element of relief that Tony Stark didn't die.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's my favourite character. There's just something about the way he presents himself that I find just so entertaining.
Yeah.
So I would have been more shattered if he died than Spider-Man.
I need to see Avengers 4 with you, because I bet that's where all of the sort of original characters are going to die.
Either die or retire.
I feel like Black Widow and Hawkeye, they'll retire. Thor can't really die, so he'll just be like...
Oh no, he can die. He can die.
We haven't in the MCU. We haven't really established how he could die, because he's just he's always come back. Like, he took a dwarf star to the back, making his hammer, and he came back because his hammer brought him back. So I feel like he's just gonna go, I'm done with this. I've got to be king of Asgard.
But then the king of Asgard in Odin has died.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's like Odin's in the comics. He's meant to be stronger than Thor.
Yeah, he's like outlives everyone. He's sort of the god of the gods.
So in reality, if he can die, you'd assume Thor can die.
Yeah.
You just assume. I personally don't think. I think the only one who will die, I have to admit, I think will be Tony Stark. There's something about it that tells me that in Avengers 4, which we'll discuss in a minute, it'll be him that dies.
I think it's going to be him and Cap, because I feel like
that'd be interesting.
If they've been sort of teasing Cap, they're going to have to pass the mantle on to either Falcon, Sam Wilson, or Bucky, and so I feel like if you've got Cap around, why would he give up the mantle unless he is no longer around? So I think, considering they were the two sort of pillars of this universe, they were always going at each other. You now got to remove them to pave the way for Captain Marvel, and I'm going to assume maybe Black Panther or Doctor Strange. They're going to be the new two foundations of this universe.
Which makes sense, considering the level of villains that we're going to get after Thanos is Dormammu and... Dormammu, sorry. And the likes of them, who are stronger.
Yeah.
So we're going to have leaders that are stronger than the original. And if you think about it, Iron Man is essentially a rich guy with robotics and...
Batman without the martial arts skill, basically.
It's with a little bit more firepower though, and he can fly. And which makes him cooler.
I was just like, Batman's got a Batwing though.
He does have a Batwing, but
that helmet is kind of cool though.
I'd
rather have that than the Batman cowl.
Yeah, can you imagine putting that in your bag? It's difficult.
It's also really sweaty. Like that, I imagine has air conditioning. So you can put it on,
think so.
And it's so nice. Or if it's really cold, like it is here in Australia, it's like got a nice heating system. I mean,
he created a regenerating energy which doesn't need recharging at all.
Yeah.
It's just right. He can definitely install air conditioning in that suit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%. So, right, we've established that Iron Man's cooler. Okay.
Literally and figuratively.
Now, Captain America, he probably can't go up against someone who's... Well, he couldn't really go up against someone on Thanos' level. He's not going to be going up against anyone else. Yeah. I mean, he's just if you think about it, he's just a human that has slightly stronger strength and slightly stronger than anyone else.
In the comics, in Infinity Gauntlet, which Infinity War is based on, there is this great page, and it's my favourite page of the entire run, and it's when Thanos is beaten Hulk, he's beaten Thor, and all that's just left is Cap. And Cap just walks up to him, and Thanos is just like, "You really think you can stop me?" And Cap has this great line. He says, "So long as there is someone left in this universe, there will always be someone to stand in your way." And it's this really great scene of just like Cap being like, "I don't care. You are a monster, and I will stop you." Thanos then sort of proceeds to break the shield in half.
Right.
And then just slap Cap aside, and that's it. But it's this great moment that wasn't in this film, but has to be in Avengers 4. Like, if it's not in some way, I would have been very disappointed.
I feel like they kind of hinted that scene was going to be in the film, in the trailer.
With, like, holding the gauntlet.
Yeah, and you thought that was going to be that scene.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I still have hopes that it... Yeah, I agree. I think that will appear in the next film, which will be Avengers 4.
Well, before we get to that, let's talk about our favourite and least favourite moments, themes, characters from Avengers Infinity War.
Least favourite moment, Star-Lord. I know that is generic, but come on, couldn't you have waited until 2 seconds later to hit him? Or, I don't know, you've got guns in your hand, shoot him, so then he dies and can't use the gauntlet. Or literally do anything but wake him up.
Yeah.
Just anything but that, and everything would have been sweet.
I like that because it plays into his character. Star-Lord is he's a man-child, basically, so he's not quite in control of his emotions because he loves Gamora so much. He just can't handle it, so he just unleashes on Thanos.
Which makes sense, but...
And hopefully that maybe plays into Guardians 3, where we see him as sort of a little bit older and more mature. It's just sort of, you've got to keep control of it. You can't just be shooting everything up and punching people in the face. But for me, my least favourite moment... Maybe it was a moment, but just like something I wish they'd done more of was more Cap.
Yeah.
He just sort of stood there. I think he had about 5 lines in total, and then just went, "Oh God." And I was kind of just a little disappointed there wasn't more of him. And I guess in Avengers 4 we'll see a lot more of him, but he wasn't as used as well as I would like him have been.
I have one more disappointment, actually. Now that you reminded me when you said Cap, Bucky.
Yeah.
Didn't do much at all. He got a new arm. It looked really cool. It was made out of vibranium, I assume.
Yeah, it has to be.
And...
he picked Rocket up and threw him around like a little gun, which I love.
And that's it. Yeah, which is cool. But that's it. That's all he did. And I was really hoping to see Tony Stark and, Winter Soldier, essentially, meet in this movie. Because, obviously at the end of Civil War, there was this massive, intense scene where, Tony figured out that it was Bucky that had killed his parents, and they went, apeshit on each other. And then I was looking forward to the aftermath. A little bit in the future, he's had a bit of time to think about it and realise, okay, it really wasn't Bucky's fault. He was being controlled. He was essentially a blank...
slate, basically.
Yeah, it was a blank killer. He had no real control over his actions, had no idea who he was or what he was doing. But we never got to see that resolved at all. Like, even if they met and just sort of gave each other a nod.
Yeah.
And then, went off separate ways, or Tony said something really smug, like, your arm looks shit. Something like that. Where it's, you sort of consider they don't necessarily like each other, but they've acknowledged that
we've
we've
overcome this, and we can move on. We're mature adults.
Yeah, but that wasn't actually showcased at all. And I kind of feel that that's not going to be presented in Avengers 4. There's something telling me that...
I can't imagine how narratively you could get those two back together on the same screen for at least 10 seconds.
I think it will happen where they'll be in the same battle scene.
Yeah.
Right. I know that Winter Soldier's obviously been disintegrated.
Yeah.
But I feel as if it will happen. It's just that I don't think they'll focus on it, because then it's too far away from Civil War. This movie was in the perfect distance away from Civil War.
Yeah.
It was the next installment of them being together, so it should have happened in that movie.
Yeah.
Right? Not in the next movie, which has another 2 Marvel films in between, MCU films in between.
Yeah. What about your favourite moment or character from the film?
I'm going to be honest, I think you're going to say this one, so I'm going to have to steal it.
That's fine, I can think of another one.
It was Thanos.
Yeah.
It was just so cool. There was something about it. Like, for an evil character you're meant to hate, I kind of liked him.
understood where he was coming from.
Yeah, there was like a Darth Vader element. I mean, Darth Vader was a little bit less. I mean, he was a bit of an idiot. I'm going to be honest. Like, obviously you've seen Star Wars Episode 3 why he became Darth Vader?
Yes.
Okay, so that was kind of stupid considering... Yes. Anyway, so it wasn't that sort of backstory where it was kind of dumb and Thanos really could have avoided it. Yeah. It was more like, I'm not really a villain, I'm more of a hero in his eyes. Yeah. But I do it in the wrong way.
And they're the best villains, are the ones that think that they're the hero of the story.
Exactly, and I kind of really liked that, and I kind of just liked him as a character. There was just something about him I liked. He wasn't some massive titan that had no emotion as well. He showed emotion in the film.
Yeah,
right.
His scene with Gamora, like when you see that single tear,
yeah,
I clicked and then went, oh, this is Josh Brolin's performance is amazing.
It's fantastic. And I loved it. By the way, have you played Fortnite?
No, I have seen the whole stuff with Thanos being incorporated.
I downloaded it only to play that. Solely to play that. And I played it, and it was fantastic to see him, because the first thing I did when I became Thanos was I had to dance, because they did the little dance things.
Yeah.
Right, and Josh Brolin said that he wanted to mimic those dance moves in this recording studio.
Yeah. That's fun. But yeah, for 19 MCU films, the villains have always been the weakest part. There have been some exceptions with like Loki or the Vulture from Spider-Man or Killmonger. He is by far the best MCU villain. He's probably like top 5, top 3 even comic book superhero movie villains of all time. To me, it goes Heath Ledger as the Joker, Josh Brolin as Thanos. He's just so good at what he does, and his plan as well. It makes sense from his perspective, because he has seen his whole planet wiped out through overpopulation. He just, in his mad mind, he just goes, well, the only solution is decrease the population. He has the Infinity Gauntlet. Instead of doing something logical like creating infinite resources or altering reality so that people don't need these resources to survive, he has just gone so insane that he's just gone, no, wipe them all out, get rid of everything.
He could have created more space.
Yeah.
More planets, more anything.
He could have created instead of destroying.
He just thought of destroying.
Yeah, which makes sense that he is a villain. It's sort of, the evil destroy, the good create.
What shocks me is that someone on the intellect of Doctor Strange and or essentially anyone that was half intelligent, which is half of the superheroes, didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Didn't think, hang on, we know what you're doing. Why don't you build more?
Yeah.
Or create... Because then he might have turned around and said, wait, that's not a bad idea.
That sort of nice leads into what my favourite moment or character, and that is that all the other characters except for this guy, spoiler, it was a guy, was all just about protecting the stones, get them away from Thanos. This guy was like, no, we have to go to Thanos. Thor stole the movie for me. Right. Chris Hemsworth was amazing. His interaction with the Guardians was really good. And there's this great emotional scene where he recounts to Rocket all the emotional trauma he's gone through in the last 48 hours. Lost his father, lost his brother, lost his planet, lost his hammer.
Lost his sister, technically.
His sister came back, stabbed him in the eye, and then he lost her. And it's just all this stuff. And Rocket's just like, you sure you're up to this? And she's like, it's fine, I'm good. I'm not suffering from emotional trauma at all. And it has probably the best moment in the film, because it was such a surprise to me. I didn't think they were going to do this, which is when he rocks up on Wakanda. When he lands in and he just holds the hammer and he just shouts bring me Thanos. I just went, yes.
Yeah, I have to admit, that was pretty cool.
It was just a great fist pump moment, because he was someone who was very proactive in what he was doing. He was like, I can kill Thanos, we should kill Thanos.
Yeah. Everyone
else was kind of just like, oh, we should protect the stones, we should look after the stones. No one thought, why don't we just kill Thanos? Or at least stop him. Admittedly, sort of Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange and the remainder of the Guardians try and do that, but they just try and take the gauntlet away. They don't try and stop Thanos directly. Yeah,
they had him paralyzed. Yeah. Asleep, essentially. They could have decided, alright, kill him, and then we'll take the gauntlet off his hands.
Yeah.
But they you're right, they didn't do that at all.
Yeah, and it's very weird that I found that Thor was my favourite character. I thought it would have been Spider-Man or Doctor Strange or Iron Man or Cap. Thor's just sort of been like this sleeper in the entire MCU. He's just sort of been there, has a couple of lines, has some cool action moments, and then you got Thor, something like Thor Ragnarok, which is really cool, and that changed him from this Shakespearean alien person to a weird, wacky dude with an eye patch and a hammer.
I think that I reckon they had that planned where he was mixing with the Asgardians who were, old Viking,
Norse mythology.
Yeah, and then he sort of comes to Earth and he sort of interacts with these wacky sort of people who are kind of witty and lay back, but at the same time different, and that kind of changed him. So you saw that progression into Thor Ragnarok. Like these characters made him into that, and now he's this sort of character.
Yeah,
that's what I feel. That's what I feel happened. Like even Loki changed quite a bit since the first time we saw him.
Yeah, definitely.
What I liked was actually, I'm gonna put one more thing that I liked.
Okay, yes.
Okay, now you remember in the first Avengers movie when Tony Stark comes up without his suit and meets Loki. Well, Loki has the staff and everything.
Yeah.
I have an army. I have blah 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 blah. The staff, and Tony's like, well, we have a Hulk.
Yeah, I like Loki.
And then it just flips around.
Turns it back.
Yeah, with Thanos. It was fantastic. It was the first thing I thought of when I saw that scene. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Hulk was waiting for it. Like it was like a cue.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like Hulk just sort of hiding in the shadows, just like, oh, now it's my cue.
And then also, how does he hide? He's huge.
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyway.
And also, he sort of just appears out of nowhere. Like, if he just walks, he makes an echo.
Everything moves.
Like, how does he? No one like feels like, oh, there's a bit of a tremor. Something's running towards us. Oh, it's that big green thing.
No, he seems okay. He's hiding. He'll be all right. Just
Yeah.
leave him there.
And it's also similar in Thor Ragnarok when Hulk is throwing Thor around like a ragdoll, and Loki just gets up and goes, "Yes, that's how that feels."
Yes, I remember that scene. That was fantastic.
I love what they've done with Loki and how he's just like he's so traumatically scarred by the Hulk and by the events of the Avengers, and he's just like, oh, he can't handle it.
But then, right before death, he's like, yeah, he's my friend now.
Yeah,
And I kind of like that.
yeah, it's a good sort of. Loki has this very weird relationship in the MCU in that he's sort of an anti-hero, but he's a really bad anti-hero.
Yes, he sort of sways between. I don't know where his allegiance. At the end of the day, his allegiance was with his brother and the Asgardians.
Yeah.
Like that became apparent at the end. That's where he went, and he stayed there, right? But how many times did he swap sides in the whole MCU?
Oh, who knows?
I can't even bother counting right now.
Yeah, but also like how much bad stuff has he done? Like he brought an alien army to invade Earth and killed hundreds.
He kidnapped Odin and pretended to be Odin for a few years.
Yeah, he inactively killed Odin.
Yes, he did. Yes,
because Odin, I think they explained in Ragnarok, because Odin was so far away from Asgard, his power was draining from him because he wasn't back on Asgard.
right.
Like it's like a throwaway line of how Hela's power comes from Asgard, and so does everyone else's. So that's why Thor needs a new hammer, and why he can't just go full Raiden from Mortal Kombat and get all this lightning and just sort of shoot it at Thanos.
Yes, which explains why he was able to pierce Thanos on Wakanda, but in the ship he wasn't able to do
Yeah,
much.
because he didn't have much.